The morning sun glimmers through tall glass windows of a massive modern mansion. The house looks perfect, but lifeless. Inside, Ethan Cole, 38, stands before a wall of awards and magazine covers. His photo shines on every one of them. The youngest billionaire in America. He adjusts his tie, glances at his reflection. On the surface, confidence. Inside, emptiness. The phone rings. "Sir, the driver is ready," says his assistant. Ethan nods, grabs his briefcase, and walks toward the grand entrance, where his elderly mother, Margaret, sits in a wheelchair, her wrinkled hands clutching a family photo. "Ethan," she says softly, "you're leaving so early again?" He forces a smile. "I have meetings, Mom. You'll be taken care of." "Don't worry." Her eyes glisten. "You always say that, Ethan. But when will you see me, not just take care of me?" He pauses. Silence fills the air. The question cuts deep, but he hides behind his cold composure. "Mom, please." "We've talked about this." He turns away, but her voice trembles behind him. "I don't need luxury, Ethan. I need my son." He walks out the door, his reflection fading in the polished glass, the symbol of everything he's become. Successful yet lost. Days turn into weeks. Ethan's meetings, business trips, and investments consume every hour. Margaret's health declines, not because of illness, but loneliness. One afternoon, his manager speaks. "Sir, about your mother's care. Perhaps a private old age facility would be better equipped." Ethan hesitates. "You mean, move her there? It's safe, professional, comfortable." "She'll be in good hands," the manager insists. Ethan sighs, the guilt faintly flickering behind his tired eyes. "Do it," he says quietly. That night, Margaret is taken to an elegant old-age home. Her eyes well up as she clutches a photo of young Ethan holding her hand at the beach. As the car drives away, she looks back at the mansion, her home, and whispers, "Goodbye, my son." Weeks pass. Margaret sits by a small window, watching the sunset through iron bars. Around her, other elders chat or nap. She sits quietly, her mind drifting back to her boy's laughter, his first steps, his promise that he'd always take care of her. Tears slide down her cheeks. Then one day a soft voice interrupts her sadness. "Hi, ma'am. Mind if I sit here?" It's Amara, a young black woman with kind eyes and a bright smile. She works part-time at the home, not for money, but out of love for people who've been forgotten. Margaret smiles faintly. "Of course, dear. Sit." Amara takes her hand gently. "You remind me of my grandma. She passed last year. Since then, I visit here to spend time with others. You shouldn't be alone." Margaret's lips tremble. "My son, he's very busy. Important man. He has no time for me." Amara squeezes her hand softly. "Maybe he'll realize someday. That time is the most precious gift." From that moment, a bond is born, one that money could never buy. Weeks later, Amara begins visiting every day. She reads stories to Margaret, takes her to the garden, sings softly when Margaret feels weak. The staff starts calling her the sunshine of the home. One morning, she finds Margaret staring at a photo of Ethan. "That's your son, right?" Margaret nods. "Yes, my Ethan, my little boy with big dreams. I just wish he remembered that love built those dreams." Amara touches her shoulder. "Then let's go see the world together today. The sky, the flowers, the people. Maybe it'll make you feel alive again." Margaret smiles for the first time in months. "You're my blessing, child." Amara laughs. "And you're my family." Meanwhile, Ethan's life glitters with achievements, new investments, media interviews, private jets, but his nights grow sleepless. He often stares at his mother's empty chair in the mansion dining room. Sometimes he hears her voice in his head. "I don't need luxury, Ethan. I need my son." One Sunday, he decides to drive alone, something he hasn't done in years. He puts on sunglasses and takes the long road through the city. The weather is gentle, the streets alive. He stops at a red light, glancing out the window. Then his heart stops. Across the street, under the shade of a big tree, he sees an old woman in a wheelchair, his mother. Beside her, a young black girl is laughing, gently feeding her ice cream, wiping her hands with care. His mother's face glows with joy. The sunlight catches her smile, something Ethan thought he'd never see again. The girl, Amara, leans down, tucks a flower into Margaret's hair. Ethan's eyes fill with tears. He can't move. The light turns green. Horns honk behind him, but he just sits there, trembling. The billionaire who owned everything realizes in one moment that he owns nothing. That the horns keep honking, but Ethan can't move. His hands tremble on the steering wheel. The world blurs as his eyes fill with tears. He watches the young woman adjust his mother's shawl, gently lifting her trembling hands toward the sunlight. Margaret laughs, a soft, fragile laugh that carries across the street. Ethan feels his chest tighten. That laugh. I thought I'd never hear it again. Finally, he turns the car, parks near the sidewalk, and steps out. His shoes touch the pavement, cold, unfamiliar ground for a man who's been walking above it all his life. He takes a deep breath and walks toward them. Each step feels heavier than the last. The weight of every missed call, every forgotten birthday, every later mom that never came. Amara notices him first. Tall, well-dressed, eyes filled with something more painful than words. She senses who he might be before he even speaks. Margaret looks up, her cloudy eyes narrowing in the sunlight. At first, she doesn't recognize him. Then her hand rises slowly, trembling. "Ethan?" she whispers. Her voice cracks something deep inside him. "Mom?" he stammers, his throat tightening. I didn't know you came out here." Margaret blinks, tears gathering in her eyes. "I didn't think you'd ever see me again." Amara steps back quietly, her heart aching at the moment unfolding before her. Ethan kneels beside the wheelchair, his designer suit brushing against the dust of the street. He takes his mother's hands, fragile, thin, trembling, hands that once fed him, comforted him, built his world. "I'm sorry, Mom," he whispers, his voice cracking. I thought I was giving you comfort. I thought I was doing the right thing." Margaret gazes at him for a long moment, her eyes filled not with anger but sorrow. "My son," she says softly, "you gave me everything except your time." Those words break him. Tears fall freely now onto her wrinkled hands. "I was wrong," he says, choking back sobs. "I left you when you needed me most." She brushes his cheek with her weak fingers, her touch gentle, forgiving. "I never stopped loving you, Ethan. I just prayed you'd find your way back." Amara watches silently, a tear sliding down her face. She turns slightly, giving them privacy, her heart glowing with quiet peace. When Ethan's emotions settle, he stands and turns to Amara. "You've been taking care of her?" he asks quietly. Amara nods, humble and soft-spoken. "Yes, sir. I met her at the home. She reminded me of my grandmother. I couldn't bear to see her lonely, so I started visiting every day." Ethan stares at her, astonished. "But you're not a nurse?" Amara smiles faintly. "No, sir. I work part-time at a community center. I just love helping people. She became my family." Ethan's gaze drops. He feels small at a man with billions, standing before a girl with nothing but kindness, realizing she's richer than he's ever been. "Thank you," he whispers, voice trembling. "Thank you for giving my mother what I failed to." Amara shakes her head. "You didn't fail, sir. You just forgot that love doesn't need money. It needs time. But you're here now. That's what matters." Margaret smiles faintly, her frail fingers reaching for both their hands. "Maybe God sent her to remind you, Ethan. That family isn't about blood or wealth. It's about love." Ethan helps his mother back into the car, insisting Amara come along. They drive through the same streets he once passed without noticing. For the first time, he truly sees the world. The children laughing, the old men chatting, the small beauty and simple lives. He stops by a park where he used to play as a child. They sit under a tree. His mother closes her eyes, breathing deeply. "I used to bring you here after school. You'd chase the pigeons until sunset." He laughs through tears. "And you'd tell me that happiness doesn't need money? Just a moment like this." She smiles. "You finally remember." Amara watches them quietly, her heart full. The scene feels sacred, like life itself has paused to witness forgiveness being reborn. That evening, Ethan drives them to his mansion, the place that once felt empty. He opens the grand doors, helping his mother inside. The marble floors and golden chandeliers no longer shine with pride. They echo with regret. But as Margaret's wheelchair rolls across the floor, her smile lights the room. Ethan turns to Amara. "I don't know how to repay you," he says sincerely. Amara shakes her head. You don't have to repay kindness. Just pass it on. He nods slowly, emotion thick in his voice. Would you stay? Help me care for her. Not as an employee, but as family. Amara's eyes widen. Family? Margaret reaches out. Yes, my dear. You already are. Tears fall freely now. 3 souls connected not by blood or wealth, but by love and grace. Months later, the mansion is no longer silent. Laughter echoes through the halls. Margaret spends her evenings in the garden with Amara, while Ethan joins them every night after work. No meetings, no excuses. One evening, as the sun sets, Ethan looks at them and whispers, You both gave me something money never could, a second chance. Margaret smiles, her eyes closing peacefully in the golden light. Amara places her hand on Ethan's shoulder. She's proud of you. You found your heart again. He nods, tears glistening. Because of her, and because of you. The camera fades to the same street where Ethan first saw them. Now Ethan pushes his mother's empty wheelchair, flowers resting on its seat. Amara walks beside him, holding his hand. A narrator's voice speaks softly. Wealth can buy comfort, but not love. Time can build empires, but also heal hearts. And sometimes, the richest people in the world are those who give love, freely, expecting nothing in return. A gentle morning sun glows over the city. Birds sing softly. The camera pans toward the same grand mansion, but it looks different now. Once cold and silent, it's alive. Children laughing. Elderly people chatting, music playing faintly in the garden. A golden plaque at the entrance reads, The Margaret Foundation, a home built on love. Ethan Cole walks through the gate. Dressed simply, no designer suit, no luxury car in sight. His eyes shine with peace, not pride. Amara walks beside him, carrying fresh flowers. He stops near a photo of his late mother smiling and framed at the entrance with a quote beneath. Love is the only wealth that grows when shared. He places a hand on the frame and whispers, We did it, Mom. Ethan walks through the courtyard where elderly residents sit in wheelchairs, reading, painting, and laughing together. He greets each one by name. Morning, Mrs. Harper. Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. His voice carries kindness, something his business empire never taught him. Amara joins him with 2 cups of tea. You've changed, Ethan, she says warmly. You're finally living, not just existing. He smiles faintly. I used to think success meant owning things. Now I know it means giving things, time, care, and love. Amara looks around, admiring the place they built together. She'd be proud of you. Ethan's eyes glisten. She's here. Every smile I see reminds me of her. They walk into a bright new building under construction, a section labeled the Amara Care Wing. She looks at him, stunned. Ethan, what is this? He smiles softly. A gift for you, for every soul who gives love expecting nothing. This wing will be a place for young volunteers, people like you who want to make a difference. Amara's eyes fill with tears. You didn't have to. He interrupts gently. You showed me what family means. You gave my mother happiness when I gave her loneliness. This is my thank you. She hugs him, quietly whispering, She'd be smiling right now. He replies, voice trembling, She is. Crowds gather outside. Cameras flash. But this time, Ethan doesn't stand on stage as a billionaire. He stands as a son. He steps up to the microphone, looking at the crowd, reporters, citizens, and volunteers. His voice is calm, emotional, sincere. A year ago, I was a man who thought money could replace love. I had everything except peace. Then I met someone who showed me what real wealth looks like. Today, we open this foundation not as charity, but as family. Every soul deserves dignity, love, and care, no matter their age, race, or background. He pauses, tears welling. This place is for my mother, who forgave me, and for Amara, who taught me love's true meaning. The audience applauds softly, some wiping tears. Behind him, Amara stands proud but humble, her eyes glistening. In the front row, elderly residents clap with genuine joy. A soft wind blows across the garden, rustling the flowers near Margaret's memorial, as if her spirit herself is clapping. Later that night, the event is over. Ethan and Amara sit on a bench outside under the stars. The garden glows with soft yellow lights, laughter echoing in the distance. Ethan looks up and says, For years I chased numbers. Now I chase moments like this. Amara smiles. That's what your mother wanted. For you to find your heart again. He looks at her. I did. And I'll spend the rest of my life protecting what she taught me and what you reminded me of. Amara laughs softly. You talk like her sometimes. He chuckles. Good. Then I'm finally learning. They sit in silence, both gazing at the stars. Somewhere above, a gentle light flickers, as if Margaret herself is watching. The next morning, a montage begins. Ethan serving breakfast to elderly residents. Amara leading a group of volunteers. Children visiting the home, bringing gifts and joy. The Margaret Foundation sign gleaming in the sunlight. The narration begins softly. Life gives second chances, but not to change the past, to heal it. The billionaire found what money could never buy, peace, love, and forgiveness. And the girl with nothing gave him everything. Cut to Ethan placing a single white rose on his mother's photo. Amara stands beside him, smiling through tears. The richest man is not the one who owns the world, but the one whose heart knows how to give it away.